Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of this Discord share series. This is going to be one of the last episodes of the Handler fundamentals. Of course, this is going to be one of the more important videos because this is going to cover autocomplete, which is going to be used a lot in the upcoming commands. Before we do go ahead and get started, one of my goals with this series is to create a bot similar to Me6. I just don't like the way that Me6 works, and I don't like the way that everything is paid. I believe that something as a Discord bot, of course, for that scale should generate money, but not everything should be locked behind the paywall. So I'm going to teach you guys on how to make it yourself from scratch. But again, we must know the fundamentals. One of the things that just came out is the new update for the GBF command handler, which you can go ahead and install using npmi GBF commands at latest. This is going to give you access to autocomplete if you followed the last tutorial, which is episode number 2. If you're on a later version, of course, you can go ahead and just check if your version is larger or on or more than 2.2.4. So once you've installed, we can go ahead and open this folder inside of our IDE. So I'm going to write code space dot to open it. So now let's go ahead and just delete everything that we did last time. And let's just ensure that our package is correct, which is 2.2.4. That's great. And let's just make sure that our commands folder is specified. So this video is going to cover autocomplete commands. If you don't know what an autocomplete command is, it's pretty much when you have a command that has options, or it could have a lot of options that need to be instantly generated. Let's say you have an API call that is made, so you can't code it in before the bot is online. Or if you have a lot of command or a lot of options that you don't want to write, let's say you have a large array that contains a lot of items, of course you wouldn't really want to write all of these options by hand. So this is where autocomplete comes in. One of the bad things about autocomplete is that it only supports 25 items, so you can only query 25 items, but you can handle that by yourself and, yeah. So that's just going to take a little bit of thinking from your side. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new command. I'm going to call this case.js. This is going to be like an example of just getting your own phone case. You will choose the type, the model, and the color. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go into my templates. And if you don't have the templates, you can simply go to Google and look at the documentation and get it from there. So this is the documentation. You can go ahead and go into the /command section and scroll down until you see /command template. You can go ahead and copy it for the language that you're going to be writing it. I'm going to be writing it in JavaScript, so I'm going to go ahead and copy the JavaScript one, close out of here and come over here and paste it. And of course, if you're in TypeScript, you're going to go ahead and copy the TypeScript one. So this is just an example command. So this is just so you can understand exactly what's going on. I'm going to name this case. And for the description, I'm going to say design your phone's case. It won't need any permissions or cooldown, but the options is what we're going to need. Another thing you should know is the autocomplete only works with / commands, not context commands or message commands. So do be careful for that. One of the things that we're going to need is, of course, the type or material. So for the material of the phone case. And this is going to have a type of string, and autocomplete is going to be true. And for the second type, I'm going to name it the model or phone model. For the description, I'm just going to make this required just so we don't have to accidentally leave something. For the phone model, I'm going to say your phone's model. And again, type is going to be application command option type dot string. And autocomplete is going to be true. Required is going to be true. Let's add another one, the last one, just so we don't waste too much time. I'm going to name this color. For the description, the color of your phone case. For the type, it's going to have an application command option type dot string. autocomplete is going to be true, and required is going to be true. Of course, if you were to add options, this would be really labor intensive, and it would be really annoying to add an array of name value for each one of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our asynchronous autocomplete method, which is going to take the interaction and the option, and that's about it. So now let's go ahead and go inside and let's set the options for each one of these. Of course, I'm not going to go ahead and call an API for something as simple as a phone case. I'm going to make my own custom options. I'm going to show you guys how. The first one is I'm going to say if option is going to be equal to material, I'm simply going to go ahead and return an array of strings that's going to contain all of the materials. So the first thing we're going to return, let's just say silicone, if that's how it's spelled, plastic, leather, rubber. Of course, these are just some materials that I just added in. I don't really know if they're leather, rubber phone cases. The next one is going to be phone model, not phone mode. Phone model. I'm simply going to go ahead and return, let's say iPhone, Android, just to sort of save time here instead of adding all of the phone models. Alright. For the last option for color, so if option is going to be equal to color, I'm simply going to go ahead and return just 3 colors, which is red, blue, and green. Again, these are just for demonstration purposes. This function needs to return a string. It could be a promise, which means it's an asynchronous method, and it could be just a normal string, which is by simply just removing asynchronous. So now let's go ahead and go into the execute. So I'm going to say const phone or case material is going to be equal to interaction.options.getString. Of course, if you're on TypeScript, you'll need to say interaction.options as command interaction option resolver inside of brackets. So inside of brackets as command interaction option resolver, and so on. For the phone model, we're going to go ahead and do the same. So const phone or case phone model, which is just going to be the same exact thing. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and just replace this with phone model, and the same exact thing but for color. So case color, and over here we're just simply going to add color. I'm going to simply return. So I'm going to return interaction.reply with content, your new phone case, and I'm going to go ahead and add material, which is going to be equal to case material, phone or model, phone model, color, case color. Alright, so now let's go ahead and save and start up our bot I'm first going to clear the console using CLS and writing nodeman in order to start our bot. And as you can see, the bot is now online. And if you have noticed, I have fixed the command loading. There was an error with the command loading taking too long to load. This has thankfully been fixed. So let's go ahead and try it out. So the case, as you can see, the first option, you already have these options. But for example, if I say R, it's going to go ahead and show me rubber. For phone model, let's say I have an iPhone, so I'm going to write I, and it's going to show me iPhone. Let's say I want the color white. It won't show it. It will just say no options match your search. So let's go ahead and just choose a blue phone case, and let's go ahead and run your new phone case, rubber, iPhone, and blue. So this is just an example of how autocomplete commands work. The next episode, again, as I mentioned, we're going to be covering some of the mistakes commands. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. And if you found it helpful and want to continue on the series, make sure to subscribe. See you guys later.